Grandma gave it directly to me. It may be in the same fund, but it's still my money.
She was insane near the end, poor thing.
She was not. Come on.
You took $150,000. I saw the statement.
Yeah. So?
So that's a lot of cash to spend, you know?
Invest. I bought a store.
There's a big difference between investing and spending. That is true. We're so happy here to be joined by Nico Rasco, the actor you just saw there on your screen. He plays David Cartman in Bleue, and also the producer and author of the series, Anne Boyer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having us.
So the one thing that's just, it's not shocking, that's the wrong word, but surprising to see on a show that airs on French television here in Quebec is seeing a scene where two Anglo characters talk to each other in English. You never see that. So, listen, I'll start with you, Anne.
Yeah.
Why make that decision, as a storyteller for your show, Bleue? Why do that?
Well, those characters live in the Milan, so if the character is English, he won't speak French with his mother, right? So I think we're there. We're at 2018,
yeah.
So we can do that. People are a lot with other kind of language around them, so I think it's more natural.
But we all know the smartest people in the world are network television executives. So when you tell this to an executive at TVA, like, hey, this is what we're going to do, was there any pushback?
No, not at all.
No. They were totally on board with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nico, you are not an Anglophone.
I'm not.
You're a Francophone.
I am.
You're playing an Anglophone.
I am.
David Cartman, in fact. So tell me about that. The whole process. Get your agent, getting this, deciding to do this.
Well, surprisingly, I'm one of those Francophones who, for the longest time, studied in French. And basically, after high school, I got to choose whether I wanted to go to English school or French school. Kept going. So I was like, you know what? I need to focus on English because I know the language, but I don't know perfectly. And I'm one of those overachievers where if I start something, I want to go all the way. And then one thing led to another. Basically ended up studying at the National Theatre School of Canada in English, and after that lived in Toronto for 5 years.
Because you've really honed like a really perfect Anglo accent.
Well, actually, when we did the audition, I didn't know you were French.
No, a lot of people do.
Wow.
A lot of people ask me.
Well, you know what? It is amazing, right? You watch a lot of TV shows. You know, I watch The Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of that. And, it's all Americans from the South. Then you find out it's all British actors, right? So this is, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be an Anglo to play an Anglo,
You I mean, the problem with a lot of Francophones is that kind of like Quebecois accent, like it goes out left and right. You
like
don't know.
Just like mine.
Some H's where you don't supposed to
You
put
guys
an
can
H.
say it. I can't say it. You guys can say it. Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about being an actor is you use this as a tool. You can get a coach to make sure that you don't emphasize the wrong syllable, for example. And it's a matter of just owning that character.
Why do you think it took so long? I'm a big fan of it's no longer on the air, but Sugala, the Sugar Sammy show.
Yeah.
I love that show because they did kind of the same thing. Not as extensive as you guys, but when there's an English character, they let them speak English, they add some subtitles. But why has it taken so long to finally see that here?
We did that a little bit before, but maybe it's just the time. We're ready for that. Everybody is ready for that.
And let's flip this process. You look at English Canadian TV. Do you think there should be a little bit more efforts there to include Francophone characters?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what do you see? Because there's there's 19.2. There's a whole bunch of productions that are being done here in Montreal. How do you think they tackle language?
Well, I didn't see 19.2 in English. I saw it in French.
Yes.
So I don't know. Did they include a lot of French?
Well, I mean, you watch it and it's quite English. You don't
quite
hear a lot. You don't
and
hear
it's supposed to be shot in Montreal too.
It takes place in Montreal, but in some alternate reality where everyone speaks English.
Yeah. Well, I think if you shoot in Montreal and if it sits in Montreal, you have to speak both languages.
Absolutely.
And he's not only English; he's also Jewish, the character. And it was important to us to show that. In this apartment, there's this Jewish guy, this Muslim guy. And another guy who has Asperger problem.
And what's the reaction been that you're including like real Montrealers, real situations? What's been the reaction?
People love it. Yeah, they love it.
Yeah, they love those characters, and they learn to love them with the time. Your character was the first love. Oh my God, David.
And in fact, you've won some awards now. You're bringing in some hardware. What award did you win?
Best Actress last year at the Gémeaux, Best Supporting Actor, Jean-Philippe Perraterien, Céline Bonnier won Best Actress.
Do you have an international award for Best Series? Is that
we just won something in New York. I don't remember the name of the thing, but yeah,
New
we're
York
very
Festival
proud
of
of that series.
Television.
Well, that's amazing. Is this a show that you think can end up on streaming services around the world?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It should be.
It's an international matter. Losing a child, leaving your family to survive, and ending up with 4 young person in Montreal in another.
Well, season 2 just wrapped up. You're going to start the 3rd season, filming the 3rd season.
We are presently.
The fall 2018 is the launch of that on TVA. Go check it out. Go check it out online. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Nico Rassico.
Yes,
And
pleasure.
Voye.
Thanks.
Tremendous pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with a look at what's happening in the entertainment world when we return on BT.